Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Asian Gamer. So, what a fantastic time to be an X-Men fan. This year we saw the continuation of the classic X-Men animated series with X-Men 97. And oh man, wasn't that a fantastic series? Like, the OG X-Men cartoon was already my favorite, version of the X-Men, but this version just pumped it up even more, and it's so great! And also this year, we got to see the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. Finally, after decades of ownership issues and the Marvel Studios just tiptoeing around the idea of what mutants are in the MCU, the X-Men have finally joined it! It's fantastic! With both of these releases, it's led to more people having their eyes on the X-Men series. We're seeing more X-Men products on the shelf. I mean, this year has just been so great for this X-Men resurgence, and I just love it. I'm happy. And I'm not bandwagoning here either. You guys know I love the X-Men series. I've reviewed so many games since I started this channel, and today, I want to go ahead and review another one. And since I've been so smitten with X-Men 97, let's take a look at a video game that was based off of a different cartoon. For a little bit, let's talk about X-Men: Pryde of the X-Men. Pryde of the X-Men was released in 1989 and was created in hopes of launching a new X-Men cartoon. It featured the likes of Professor X, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Dazzler, and Kitty Pryde. In this cartoon, the X-Men are on a mission to stop the evil team of mutants called the Brotherhood of Mutant Terrorists, which consists of the White Queen, Blob, Pyro, Juggernaut, Toad, and their leader, Magneto. The cartoon overall is pretty campy as you would expect, but at least it's got some great animation. There's some odd things like Juggernaut, who isn't even a mutant, being labeled as a mutant terrorist, but the oddest thing about the show is that Wolverine, who is well known for being Canadian, is Australian here for some reason.
Then it's all been real.
Of course it's all been real. Get with it. The X-Men don't have room for whiny brats.
An Australian Wolverine? That would never work. This pilot got mixed reviews and was never picked up for an official series, which actually worked out pretty well because we wouldn't have gotten the good animation series later on. Meanwhile, Konami was killing it in the arcades. They had some real bangers like The Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Turtles in Time. Konami was looking to do another arcade game based off of a licensed IP, and after seeing Pryde of the X-Men, saw potential in using that property. With a wide variety of potential playable characters, they could make, for the first time ever, a 6-player arcade cabinet. There would be so much action going on that the game would utilize 2 screens. And in early 1992, we saw the release of X-Men in the arcades. And that's the video game I want to talk about today. So let's go way on back and talk about this classic. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is X-Men, the arcade game.
X-Men.
So this is a game I've wanted to review for a while. This is something that when I was a little kid and I was thinking, oh, someday when I'm rich and famous, I'm gonna buy myself one of those classic X-Men arcade cabinets to have in my very own home. But I'm not rich, nor am I famous. But luckily, Arcade 1-Up has made a more affordable version with their cabinet mock-ups. This version is only 4 players, but it focuses on X-Men, and also comes with Captain America and the Avengers and Galactic Storm. The thing is though, when it's not on sale, it's nearly $800. I can't justify spending that much money on something like that though. I mean, I have a family, you know, I have a son, I live in California, shit's expensive here. But someday I'll get one of those. So for this review, I'm actually going to be using the version of the game that was released way on back in 2010. This was the version that was released on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's a mostly identical port outside of, due to copyright reasons, the dialogue having to be re-recorded. But they kept the original corny lines, and it honestly doesn't sound bad. But anyway, let's jump into this. Instead of me explaining the story, I'll go ahead and let the game do it itself.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans could do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men. Go and save the city!
The playable characters here are the same main characters from the cartoon. We got Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Dazzler, Cyclops, and Colossus. Pick any fighter and you can't go wrong. The mechanics here are simple. There's a button to punch and a button to jump. You can jump attack and even toss your enemies when in position. There's also a button for using your mutant powers. It's a strong attack, but it will damage you in the process. And that's about it for gameplay, really. It's not a complicated game. It's straight up beat 'em up action. As for the characters themselves, there's very few differences between them. Wolverine is a good pick. He's got great range, and his mutant powers, this laser claw attack, will kill enemies all the way across the screen. Also, when you attack a downed enemy, it looks like Wolverine is stabbing them in the crotch. Cyclops is a well-rounded fighter. His mutant power is, of course, shooting out his optic blast. It's a strong attack, as long as you don't miss the enemy. Storm is a favorite here too, but she has a scepter for some reason. I've never seen her use that before, but it's useful here as it gives her a bit more range. Her mutant power is this tornado attack that'll shoot across the screen. Nightcrawler is a fun pick. I think he's got some of the best animations. He's also got some good air attacks, and you can hurt a lot of enemies with his teleportation attack. Colossus is one of my favorites. If you're playing on the real arcade cabinet, he's just okay, but if you're playing on a ROM or a re-release like I am, where you aren't worried about dropping quarters, Colossus is the strongest for one reason: his mutant powers. Visually, it doesn't make a lot of sense. He does this Dragon Ball Z power-up looking move, which shows him in his weaker form for some reason, but this attack has range, as it takes up almost the entire screen. Every other character, you have to kinda line up the enemies and use your special attack to take them out, but with Colossus, it's an easy win. Yeah, spam that shit! And the last character is Dazzler. She's the least popular pick, and honestly, I can't really redeem her here. She's okay to play as, but she's definitely a last choice pick. Her mutant power attack is kinda lame in comparison to the others. She throws an attack across the screen for a delayed explosion. I mean, at least it's different. Dazzler might seem like an odd choice these days, but back then, she had some popularity. She had a solo comic and was a newer X-Men member around Pryde of the X-Men's release. Funny though, that instead of her getting more popular from this game's release, she just kinda disappeared. So let's get to the levels and the bosses of this game. The first stage has us in the city where we'll be fighting these enemies that you'll be seeing throughout the whole game. Sentinels. Mini Sentinels compared to what we saw in the intro. It's a straight shot in this level until we reach the end and come across Pyro.
Pyro will turn you to toast!
If you're quick enough, you can cheap shot these bosses while they're yapping away.
Pyro will...
Pyro is pretty much a chump and isn't too hard to beat. Maybe it's just me, but I love how in these old games, the enemies would just start flashing red as they get weaker and weaker. Fuck health bars, show me my enemy about to blow up! The second level is in a Sentinel factory. We'll fight Sentinels. Duh. And the music in this level, it cracks me up. Listen to this.
X-Men. Get it!
I hear this and I can't help but think of Professor X telepathically watching his mutants while he's scratching records DJing.
X-Men.
At the end of the stage we fight the Blob.
Nothing moves the Blob!
Not sure why Blob has a frickin' mace, but whatever. Hit him a few times to knock him on his ass, then start punching away some more until he's defeated.
X-Men! We have been taken by Magneto. However, we had time to locate their base on Island M. Destroy it!
In this level, we'll fight, yep, that's right, Sentinels! There's also some weird plant monsters and some lizard men who are giving me horrifying flashbacks of Silver Surfer for the NES. We'll eventually reach a waterfall where Magneto appears.
X-Men, welcome to die!
Welcome to die! It's such an amusing line. Magneto just has some of the best quotes in this game. We'll get to more in a bit. Anyway, after this part, we'll quickly come across the next boss.
Wendigo!
Hey, this guy wasn't from the cartoon.
Go and rescue Kitty from the cave.
Inside the cave, we fight the typical enemies. At the end, we see Kitty Pryde trapped inside some kind of prison from this boss. I'm pretty sure that's Master Mold. And not that Master Mold, but that Master Mold. Once you defeat him, he explodes!
You must rescue the professor!
We're now on a mountaintop area. We'll eventually reach a mid-boss fight with the White Queen.
The White Queen welcomes you to die.
Welcome to die. Sorry, Magneto already beat you to it with that line. We'll continue our merry way. We see a gigantic-sized sentinel here. Holy shit, why aren't we fighting this guy? Instead, he opens his mouth to release a bunch of these dudes. This D-level bad guy is actually called Bonebreaker in the comics. What a oddly specific character to add here. At the end of the stage, we come across the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut will flatten you.
I don't get it. Why does Juggernaut need a frickin' bazooka? He's the Juggernaut, bitch. But now that I think about it, it's kind of like those old Toy Biz action figures. Why did Wolverine need a sword? Or Magneto need a gun? I guess the idea is to sell toys. But why do X-Men need weapons? They are one! Keep attacking Juggernaut and you'll eventually knock off his helmet, and then eventually defeat him.
X-Men, nice job. Magneto is over there. Follow me.
Aha! You fell into our trap.
Ah, Mystique, you bitch. She wasn't in the Pryde of the X-Men cartoon either. But it's always great to see a familiar face. Let's fight more Sentinels. Bosses here are these statues. Not 100% sure, but I think this obscure villain is the Living Monolith. Huh. Well, let's kill him.
X-Men, X-Men. Magneto is planning to attack Earth from his asteroid base. You must foil his plan before it's too late. Go after the giant sentinel.
Alright, we're on the final level now, Asteroid M. We quickly get into a boss rush. Let's kick some goddamn ass!
I am Magneto. Magneto, you are nothing! Ha!
Hey, Magneto! Fuck you!
Alas, that was Mystique, not Magneto. Magneto is in another place. Go, X-Men!
Ah, the old-fashioned fake-out. Well, Magneto is in the next room. Let's go.
I am Magneto, Master of Magnet!
All right, Master of Magnet, you're going down.
You are... Ha! Ha! I kill you! Dead! You are dead! Ha! Shield! You are helpless against my power, X-Men! Ha! X-Chicken!
Oh, wait, what did he just call me?
Ha! X-Chicken! X-Chicken! X-Chicken!
Did he just call me an ex-chicken? Whoa, 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 whoa. I can understand maybe an ex-baby, but ex-chicken? That's where the line is crossed.
Die, X-Men!
We did it! We whooped some ass and the day is saved. Roll the credits. What an action-packed X-Men adventure! So, how does this game hold up today? Well, it's just as fun as I remember. The fun characters, the fun villains, the cheesy lines, and poppin' music. It's a great combo. But of course, this is going to be a totally different experience when you're not playing it on the original arcade cabinet. Back in the day, I didn't get the chance to play this a whole lot because I didn't really have any arcades around me. But when I did get to play it, I only got as far as how many quarters I had would take me. Like most arcade beat-em-ups of that era, the gameplay isn't deep and it gets pretty mindless after a while. The excitement comes from seeing how far you could get on just whatever money you had, as these games were designed to eat up your quarters. When you play this on a ROM where money isn't an issue, the game has no challenge because there's no way to lose. Playing on the actual arcade cabinet would be preferred, but considering how easy it is to die, it could get pretty costly just to make it through the game. All that aside, whichever version I'm playing, I'm gonna love it simply cause it's X-Men. I'm controlling a badass mutant, and I'm ripping robots to shreds and saving the world. So yeah, I love this game. And something I find kind of upsetting is that this game was never ported to consoles. Konami ported a lot of their arcade titles like Contra, Sunset Riders, and a few of the Ninja Turtle games. It's a shame we didn't see this game all modified for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. But anyway, these are just my opinions. What do you guys think about X-Men the arcade game? You love it? You like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, blah 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 blah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
I am Magneto, Master of Chicken! You are chicken, X-Men! You are helpless against my chicken shield! I am dead!